Hey there, and welcome. Today we're diving into the hidden forces that really shape the fate of any business. Whether it's a tiny coffee shop on the corner or a global tech giant, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible currents that can make or break a company.
So you've probably heard this a million times, right? Build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door. But if that's true, why isn't a great product enough to guarantee success? The answer, as it turns out, usually isn't inside your company at all. It's out there, in the world around you.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, the entire business ecosystem. Then we'll zoom right in on your inner circle, the microenvironment. After that, we're going to pull way back to see the huge forces of the macro world, and I'll give you a super useful tool to make sense of it all. And finally, we'll connect the dots and see how this all fuels a winning strategy.
I want you to think of your business like a house. Simple enough. You've got things happening inside your walls, sure, but your house also exists in a neighborhood. That neighborhood is in a city, and that city is in a country. A business is exactly the same. It is not an island. It operates within these two distinct layers of influence. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the neighborhood, your immediate surroundings. This is what we call the microenvironment. It's made up of all the players you deal with day in and day out. These are the folks you can see, talk to, and importantly, directly influence.
And that right there is the key word, direct impact. A competitor slashes their prices, or a major customer has a new demand. These are things that affect your business today. Your relationships in this inner circle, well, they pretty much define your daily reality.
So who exactly is in this inner circle? It's this whole web of crucial relationships. You've got your customers, obviously. They're the reason you're even in business. Your competitors are there, always keeping you on your toes. And what about your suppliers? Just one late shipment from a key supplier could grind your entire operation to a halt. Every single player on this list holds a piece of your company's future in their hands.
Okay, now let's zoom out. We're pulling back from your immediate neighborhood and looking at the entire city, the whole country, even the world. This is the macro environment, and these are the big, sweeping forces that don't just affect your business, but every business. And this slide lays out the difference perfectly. The microenvironment is up close and personal. It's specific to your company, and you have some level of influence. The macro environment, that's the big stuff. These are societal forces that hit everyone, and you have very little, if any, control over them.
A good way to think about it is that the macro environment sets the weather. You can't stop it from raining, right? But you can decide to bring an umbrella. You don't control shifts in culture or government policy. The only thing you can do is understand these forces and adapt.
So the big question is, how on earth do you get a handle on these massive, uncontrollable forces? Well, luckily, there's a fantastic framework for that. It's an acronym called PESTLE, and it's basically your map for navigating the macro world.
Think of this as your checklist for the outside world. P is for political. Think about trade policies or government stability that could change everything overnight. E is economic. We're talking inflation, interest rates, things that impact how much money people have to spend. S is for social. These are cultural trends, lifestyles, and values, like the huge shift towards health and wellness. T is technological. This is the relentless pace of innovation, like how AI is completely reshaping entire industries as we speak. E is environmental. This covers everything from climate change itself to customer demand for sustainable products. And finally, L is for legal, the specific laws around things like employment or data privacy that dictate the rules of the game.
Okay, so we've got our inner circle, the micro, and the wider world, the macro. So what? Why does spending time analyzing all this stuff actually matter? Well, because this is where real strategy is born. It's how you spot danger and, more importantly, opportunity, long before anyone else does. And this right here is the payoff. When you're constantly scanning both your micro and macro environments, you can build much smarter strategic plans. You can get ahead of risks, like a key supplier going bust or a new regulation popping up. And the most exciting part, you can spot brand new opportunities. Maybe a shift in social trends just created the perfect market for what you do.
So in the end, it all comes down to this simple but powerful idea. Being successful isn't just about being good at what you do inside your own company. It's about mastering your inner circle while expertly navigating the huge, unpredictable currents of the wider world.
Which leaves us with one final thing to chew on. When you look at those 6 PESTLE factors, political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal,
Which one of those do you think is going to be the biggest, most disruptive force shaping business for the next 10 years? It's definitely something to think about.